What's up YouTube, Daxy Leader here, and welcome back to another battle review. It's been a hot minute, but this time we're looking at a battle submitted in my Discord server. This was the first game that was linked to me, and I already kind of know what happens because there are quite a few memes surrounding this game. This happened in the WCBL between Pure Awesome and Nada. So we're looking at Nada's side, and if you guys want to submit battles of your own for me to review, be sure to follow that link to my Discord server, go to the Battle Reviews channel and put replays there. I'm gonna try to get to all of them, I think, eventually, but if there is like a high profile game, like the finals or something of a league I'm involved in, I'm most likely gonna review the NPL Minors finals when that comes around. I'm gonna prioritize those, but otherwise I'll be doing these the links that are in my server. So without further ado, let's get into this game. I don't know what their full teams are, so I'm just gonna look at the 6 they each brought. I see the turn music off. We got the Mew, the Lando, I don't know if that's true for Sandforce, the Suicune, the Klefki, the Scrafty, and the Arcanine on Pure's side. And then Nada has brought the Scully, the P2, Miltank, Breloom, Volcanion, and Mawile. That's probably Mega Mawile. Why would you draft if it's not Mega Mawile? I'm sure that's Mega Mawile. Alright. So Nada's only defogger is Volcanion. Pure has 3 potential defoggers. So, and in terms of hazard setting, they both have spikes in Klefki and Scolipede respectively. Nada has rock options in Miltank and Mawile, and Pure has the Mew and the Landorus as rockers. So I think Suicune should kind of just win here. If it has coverage for the Breloom, like I could actually really see a Scald Sub-Protect Air Slash set working really well this game. So I think that Suicune is Pure's win condition. Oh wait, no, that's the Volcanion. Even still, maybe that could still work and do a lot. But a Toxic Orb Breloom could probably completely wall Suicune, and a Volcanion that can also avoid Toxic somehow. It would be really nice. I wonder if that's like Heal Bell Mawile or something. Alright. On Nada's side, aside from what I know, I'd think the win condition would be not Mawile, because Arcanine's a great check to that. Suicune's also a pretty good check to that. The win con is oh man, it's actually really hard to say. Nada's win con is Toxicking Suicune and Arcanine, wearing those down, and then winning with any of these 3 mons here. Any of these 3 can do it once the Suicune and the Arcanine are significantly whittled. So, finally, talking about leads, I think Pure leads with Klefki, just to get up like spikes as soon as possible, and he can switch into Suicune if the Volcanion scares out the Klefki. And I think Nada wants to get momentum as soon as possible. I feel like maybe if there's a Spore on that Breloom, she can lead with the Breloom, but you don't want to get synchronized. Let's see what happens. So, we do get the Volcanion coming out from Nada, anticipating that Klefki lead, and Suicune comes out right away, which is what I expected. Does Nada make a turn 1 prediction? She goes for the Sunny Day Solar Beam, and Pure doesn't scout for it at all. If you see Sunny Day, I don't know why you wouldn't go for Solar Beam unless... Okay, it only does 50%, so that Protect... That probably... Oh, he probably calced it in advance, actually. Good. That's good, actually. And then he goes for the double protect. There, well, you know he's not going for a water move there, right? So you might as well, I think, switch into Arcanine to get to stall out, to just get some toxic turns. Then you can go right back in Suicune after. Or even if you had coverage on the Arcanine for this, that might have been the play. But I don't see the point of risking a double protect. Even just any other move, I guess it has to be sub protect. No, it can't be sub. He would have gone for it. So you have another attacking move then, right? Unless it's like Crocoon. I guess it could be that. But then he doesn't have Calm Mind either. Okay, I'm not sure what this Suicune set is. Leftovers Volcanion, so this is probably defensive to some extent with the defog. I'm not sure what it'd be there for. She does have the Heal Bell on Miltank, okay, so nice to get rid of Toxic on stuff like the Volcanion. That's a good set. And the rocks are on the Miltank. This is a sub Suicune, so why? You're faster than Volcanion, right? Unless it was confirmed that you got outsped earlier. No, Suicune's faster. Why didn't you sub? Were you expecting another Solar Beam? You could have, but sub was always your play regardless. That's what Suicune does. It subs and protects and just stalls out PP. So even if you don't 1v1 the Volcanion right there, it's still it still has a way harder time beating the rest of your team anyway. So what happened here? Miltank got Rock Sub versus the sub, Toxic, and then hard Scolipede on a predicted protect. That makes sense in terms of predicting the protect. Does it make sense in terms of you can now take out this Suicune and you risk getting Scald Burned? I don't know, unless you have sub up your own. You have the spikes. Alright. Interesting. So the Mew and the Klefki are both affected by that. Yeah, this got burned, right? It did. So Nada needs to get a Heal Bell off very soon. Thunderbolt breaks the sub, so that Porygon has some offensive investment, at least. Alright. Nada needs to find an opportunity to get this Heal Bell off. But right now, it looks like her play is just not letting the Suicune finish with a sub here. You cannot do that. Yeah, okay. So she's gonna do it now. Currently, Nada is winning the Hazard's War, which you wouldn't think is what would have happened at the start of the game. He goes for Toxic, I guess predicting a Heal Bell. This is a fast Miltank, yeah. And she goes for it on a Protect turn. That's smart. Good, yeah, that was well done. Just kind of got read there. So now only the Miltank is Toxic, and you break the sub. This ended up working out. If Nada can get the paralysis off on this Suicune, that'd be huge. That'd actually be pretty big. And Nada's just going to try to play for the, the break, but why do you Toxic there? I guess predicting her to predict to protect. I mean, it worked out, so good for you. Six for 21 minutes. 21 turns. Yeah. Alright, so now the Breloom comes in. She's done with this. It probably has Bullet Seed. Swords Dance? Okay, that makes sense. I'm thinking... and this is Defog Klefki. Interesting. And she gets up another Swords Dance. Mach Punch does a ton. Alright. So Nada's plan was clearly, oh my god, that's so much damage. This is Technician. Nada's plan was just to break with that, I guess. I feel like, what if she had, like, Facade? I don't know. But she was totally fine with letting herself get paralyzed there. I guess she knew she had the Mach Punch, she just wanted to kill something. She traded her Breloom for the Klefki, and 70% on Arcanine. So is that worth it? You know what? Because... Did she do that after the Klefki was revealed as the Defogger? Because if she did, that was totally worth it. She goes Breloom on the Suicune, and Pure just goes Klefki, so she just gave herself an SD. And then once... She just Swords Danced again because she knew that she could OHKO the Klefki at +4, right? No, never mind. Or like... She must have known she can live any hit. Okay, Mach Punch, she's faster than the Klefki, which makes sense. I think they're the same base speed. 273, 262 max. Okay, so Breloom's a little slower. But she was faster than the Klefki. Did she know that before? Not necessarily, but I mean, if it didn't go for an attacking move, like Play Rough or something, then she was totally fine just predicting a Thunder Wave or whatever. Anyway, considering that Pure's Defogger is now gone, and Arcanine is nearly in Rock's range, and yeah, and Pure's Spiker potentially is dead. So Nada has just won the Hazard War with that one trade, so that's worth it. And Heal Bell gets off on this Arcanine because Arcanine can't touch Miltank. Reveal the CC, alright, fine. Body Slam. Do we see a power on this Suicune? If we see a power on this Suicune, like, I'm not gonna say it's over, but like, it's getting close. Pure has, I feel like, kind of overused this Suicune. I feel like he should have used it to 1v1 the Volcanion. Like I mean, fair enough, you bring in the Mawile here, but I'm not sure if Pure had another play. Mawiles are really low right now, and she just lets it die. She changes Mawile for the sub. That is not worth it. Let me see what the chat has to say about that. Oh, hold on. Let me read what chat's saying. Roasting Cameron, as usual. Who doesn't get burned by Scald? Dude, I was just trying to keep things interesting by talking about his penis. Scolipede gets crit. Alright. So Nada has now thrown away 2 of her mons to this Suicune. Porygon's at 63. Miltank's at 94. I think at that point, if you're just trying to stall out subs, right? If you just T-bolt away, take out the substitutes. I don't know how many T-bolts you have left. You have 18. So you actually used, well, you have half of these. You have 9 left. So between Miltank healing up, heal belling rather, and P2 going through 9 Thunderbolts, would you have beaten this Suicune without having to lose both of your remaining physical offensive threats? I think Nada might have just been trying to get the spikes up with Scolipede, that would make sense, but I don't understand why the Mawile had to die there. I really don't. Alright, now the P2 comes out, and you can claim this kill finally. Protect, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. It's going to Agility. Alright. So... yeah, that does over 20, that does quite a bit. This Porygon has pressure, and now, oh, that's big. That's really big. And that just gets erased. That's a pretty weak Scrafty. That also just gets erased. What's huge about that, okay, I mean, thank God you hit the Focus Blast, but what's huge about that is that the high jump kick miss caused Scrafty to die, which is your fighting type, and at that point, she only had the normal types. Like Scrafty, at this point in the game, as soon as Suicune died, Pure decided that he was going to win the game with Scrafty. Because Scrafty takes one of anything, she just switches hard into the Volcanion. This might have just killed, depending on his set. If he's like Bandit, I think this just got obliterated. Instead, Scrafty gets obliterated. So that's, Pure now has to win by landing all his fighting moves. So, I mean, he Earth Powers this, Focus Blast this, and now he needs to land his Focus Blast, and if he misses, this Porygon now has Sheer Force and Agility, and if he hits, because it's probably offensive, I think he wins, but he doesn't. That's kind of what I thought would happen, because I heard that Pure got swept by a Sheer Force Porygon, a Sheer Force Agility Z Porygon with Gigavolt Havoc. I didn't hear about the Gigavolt Havoc bit, actually. And it doesn't die to that. Oh, wait, never mind. Nada didn't actually win this game. I got that all wrong, and that makes sense. I mean, like, Mew wasn't going to die from full. But alright. Alright, and thus Fast Duck was born. I thought that won the game for Nada. But it didn't. Alright. So, I think, I gotta say, like, Nada won the Hazard War very early, and traded Breloom to do that, and that's just one Mon. So, like I said, at the time that was worth it. If we go back to that turn, I think Breloom was the first Mon to die. Yeah, no, Klefki died first, but that's fine. So, right, Nada wins the Hazard War here. At this point, her thought process should be get up spikes. It's worth it to sack off Scolipede for multiple layers of spikes. You do that versus nothing for free, necessarily. Probably the Suicune is your best bet. So lure in the Suicune with something like Volcanion. And then from there, then you can get your Porygon to do work. Mawile becomes a much more dangerous breaker in general, but your priority here should have been getting in Scolipede. Instead, what happens is that Nada, she gets up the rocks, sure, but why does she go Mawile here? Is this a misclick? She goes hard Mawile on Suicune. And it just, she trades it for the sub and just dies. I mean, sure, what it could have been is that she was trying to sack it because Scolipede would have died, and now you should get up at least one spike, but Megahorn doesn't kill, I guess. I'm curious if that crit mattered. So was that a roll on Megahorn? Did the crit matter? I'm sure the crit mattered. Why was Scolipede not at full? Did it take 2 scalds? No, it shouldn't have. Oh, there you go. She tried to do this earlier. She got up 1 spike, got burned, healed Bella. Okay, okay. So actually, we see that Scald should be doing 38. And then she's at like 60. She's at 56. Yeah, that crit for sure mattered. A lot. Alright. So Nada thought she could kill with Megahorn and get rid of the Suicune. That would have been kind of nice, because Volcanion goes into that point, actually. Yeah, Volcanion absolutely shreds. I see now. She was sacking the Mawile to get in Scolipede, and she thought that that could kill. Worst case scenario. So in Nada's mind, Suicune, she takes 1 hit, Suicune dies to 2 no matter what, even if she gets burned. As long as she lands 2 Megahorns or whatever her other attacking move is. Like, look. If she calcs this, it's at 8%, so any move from Scolipede is going to kill the Suicune even if it recovers the 12. It'll be at 20. I don't think there's any attack from Scolipede that doesn't do 20% to Suicune. Alright, but Scald crits. Even if she got burned, she probably did the 20%. Or would that be more than... No, it would be... Leftovers is 6, I'm stupid. Wait. You're at 8, you go to 15. Okay, it's like, she recovered 7 there, but anyway. So she would have been at, yeah, just about 20, 21 or something. So Suicune would die, and then with the speed boost, nothing outspeeds. And he has no priority, so she gets up 1 spike. At that point, Suicune's dead, she has Volcanion. And if she plays around Landers correctly, then yeah, Volcanion shreds. So, I can clearly see Nada's game plan. That was not really a misplay on her part. Just some hacks. Pure 2. I can see his game plan. Once Suicune went, he's like, okay, I'll sack Suicune. Then Scrafty should win. Didn't work out because of the miss there. But it was fine. Because Mew could take any hit from his Porygon. It looks like Nada just prepared for Mew, really. Any kind of Mew, because like, what did she have on this team besides Scolipede that could kill it? I guess luring it with Breloom. I guess she had lures for it, but she needed to keep her offensive mons alive. So there was a few things here. I think I want to say Nada got too fancy with the fast duck. That'd be a cool... I mean, the title of this video is obviously Fast Duck, but my point is, I think the takeaway here, the main takeaway finally, not that I know the rest of Nada's team, but I think this was a prep issue. And Nada's known to have very good prep, very like fancy prep that people don't expect, and usually her sets work. In this case, like, Porygon could have swept in the end if it was just stronger, but it's a Porygon. Unfortunately, it's a Porygon. And it needed a little bit of bulk. so that it could like recover up on stuff. But if she had like a more reliable way of dealing with the Suicune plus the Mew, this game was over. Or if she had something with Breloom to consistently beat the Suicune, like Bullet Seed would have been great. I'm sure she had Bullet Seed, maybe Facade as well. I don't entirely know. I don't know. But whatever happened, it didn't Pure got too much done with the Suicune because he was able to take out the Mawile and Scully. Yes, I get that the Mawile sack was probably intentional, but like it is kind of hard to say where Nada went wrong here because of the hacks. But like, I guess think about your game plan like ahead of time, right? In building this team, Nada must have said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Porygon in on Landorus, I'm going to sweep. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen before that, right? And she knows that. She knows that Mew has to get whittled down. She knows that, I'm sure Arcanine had to get whittled too, Klefki probably had to be gone, and she would have wanted to get up Hazards. But you've got to think like 2 layers here. You've got to be like, alright, so this is my win condition, in her case Porygon. This is how I set up my win condition. I need Hazards, I need Mew dead, or weakened, and I need Arcanine weakened probably. Then you ask yourself, how do I do those things? How do I weaken the Mew? How do I weaken the Arcanine? And at that point, you would say to yourself, okay, I have the Scolipede that can threaten it out. I have a Mawile. Excuse me. I have a Mawile that can have a dark move. Or just any attack from Mawile, really. As long as you don't get wisped. But then you start thinking about the Suicune, right? So you have to build your team from your win con up. You can't just tech on a mod like that and hope it works, because then you're going to run into problems in the mid game, as you saw that Nada did. She had a hard time dealing with Suicune. Again, I don't know her full team, so I can't really say if she had anything else, like a better way to deal with the Mew, a better way to deal with the... fucking hell. Better way to deal with the Mew, a better way to deal with the Suicune, but yeah, that's just unfortunate. But just do remember to if you're going to take away anything, I don't know if it was the most applicable to this game, but my tip for the day is think on multiple levels. Build from your win con up. So pick your win con, figure out how that win con wins the game, and then figure out how you need to support the threats that weaken things you need to weaken, that get rid of the hazard removers if you need to set hazards, etc., etc. So that's been my battle review. Thanks so much for watching, and like I said, if you want to leave a replay for me to review in my server, the link is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, retweet, and maybe even subscribe. But until next time, later guys.